Smash that limiter!
Hello, everybody. How is it going?
Hello.
Oh, wow.
How is everyone?
This is, everything's been going.
You
back
are
here
as
and-
white as a ghost, my guy.
Yeah. Oh, my fucking God. Hang on a minute. Sorry, everyone's getting feedback through everything. I forgot to mute all the items that make everything feedback, like the red browser and all that sort of shit.
Oh dear, we're already off to scuff.
Hey, I did one thing that I didn't do last time for 37 episode, and that is make hotkeys on OBS. So that's always
37 episodes in, now discovering hotkeys.
I know.
Professional stream.
Anyways, welcome back everybody to episode 38. We are back. We've had such a hiatus. G'day, Buns. I have no idea. He was supposed to be on. He said that he was going to be on, and then he didn't respond. So, yeah, unfortunately, he didn't turn up. But
Maybe next time.
anyways, as a celebration for being how long? When was the last episode?
7 months. It's been 7 months.
7 fucking months. Okay, so we need to start off this episode with drinks of alcohol because
Yep, I'll let you start.
it's been crazy. So I'm cracking open a Summersby apple cider. I'm gonna be promoting some 2 p.m. drinking. I'm not gonna get drunk. It's okay, but I advise everybody else to.
Allegedly.
Nah, it's not alleged. Just I can legally encourage it. This is an
Allegedly get drunk for the streamer.
It's an 18 plus stream, so you can drink as much as you want. Just don't drink drive. Oh, and don't drink if you're on probation. Obviously, if you're out of jail, can't do that.
They're oddly specific. Let's go.
Some people I know. You never know.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, so your turn to open your drink. What are you
All right.
drinking?
All right, I am drinking a Carlton Dry, ultra smooth. It's my favorite beer. Besides the, I forget the name of it because it's German.
Yeah.
Actually, all right, let's crack it open. I'm
crack
just going
it
to turn my preamplifier up a little bit.
Get some. Ooh, that hiss. That was a good hiss.
There we go. I think if I pulled away from the microphone, I may have gotten a little bit of a better recording. But next time.
Sweet. So, a bit of an update. Okay, I think Spliffy, you should update how things have changed in your life, and then I'll go on to my update of what's gone on in my life.
Not much has changed. It's just more and more work, really.
Yep.
The only thing I can really think automotive wise is my starter motor died on my car, but I got that fixed pretty damn quickly.
Yeah. I suppose that's the original starter motor you had on your car anyway, isn't it?
That's my guess. It's been there for 20 years, so let's go for another 20.
Anyway, so my life has kind of turned like full
upside down, inside out, back to front, you name it.
Like I was fucking heading in one direction and I did a fucking 360 and somehow ended up in space. So, all right. So, last time, episode 37, I was working at a air conditioning wholesaler company and things changed in my life and I ended up moving in the middle of nowhere. That was about 9 hours away from my the place where I was living, and I'm right smack back bang in between, like the closest point to one of the big. I'm trying not to dox myself. one of the
walking on eggshells.
One of the largest states in Australia's borders. So it's about, I'd say, approximately 4 hours away, and it is 4 hours to everywhere where I live now. So I'm country now. I'm a country boy.
You're officially full blown country. You can't get any more country than where you are.
Yeah. everybody knows my name. Like I walk around the shops and stuff, and everyone says hello to me and stuff like that. So I've been living here for a little while since March. I moved up here, and it has been a journey that is crazy. Just like leaving my family behind and just coming out here, and I fucking love it. I absolutely love it out here. The scenes I get. Like, because where I live, I'm surrounded by beach. I have a beach at the front of the house, and I have a beach behind the house. All within like walking distance. Like
You live on an island.
I live on a peninsula. And it is just breathtaking views and stuff like that. And the weather's pretty nice actually, because where I live is stereotypically regarded as really hot, dry climate. It's dry, it doesn't rain much, but it isn't actually hot. It's lovely. Like you get the ocean breeze, and so even in summer, you just get this breeze in the afternoon. You have the windows open in the house, and it's just absolutely just breathtaking. I love it, and the fishing is cool here. I'm trying to sort of get my fishing tackle box back into order so I can go out fishing more often. I've just recently got Max Tracks. Well, knockoff brand, but for my car, so I can start going out in the sand dunes and stuff like that, going full driving, camping and stuff like that. My job is obviously no longer air conditioning anymore. It is automotive. So I work at the local mechanics as a service advisor. So I've seen a lot in a very short amount of time, because I went in there thinking that with my experience over the years, like with my brother and family and friends and all that sort of shit, and seeing lots of different things, that I would go into this workshop like being pretty knowledgeable, but not obviously like to the extent that my boss and the other mechanics are, obviously, because they said bread and butter. But at least I could understand what's going on and symptoms and stuff like that sort of stuff and get an idea. And that is true. I do to an extent. But I've learnt so much, and I was very much humbled about my knowledge.
Yeah.
I can still say this with a passion. The brand Ford is shit.
We already knew that.
So, yeah, I can say that. They are terrible. Okay, the Ford Ranger is good at towing. Can't argue that. It is actually a really good towing category on it. It has rating.
To survive the trip.
But everything on there is a piece of shit that breaks and fails and is plastic. And we even had a car. It was a Mondeo, Ford Mondeo. And it somehow or other, I don't know how, but it got so hot in the oil that it melted the fucking oil sump, which is apparently a real common fault for the Ford Rangers, the Raptors. So the Ford Raptors, it's common for them to do that, but no one's ever heard of it being done on a Ford Mondeo. Another thing that I was really surprised happens, but it happens a lot to the point we get like 1 or 2 cars a week at the moment, is incorrect fuel in the fuel tank.
What?
Yeah, tourists. There's one particular place that they will do it at, and I can understand why they make the mistake, but it's still pretty stupid. But they're putting AdBlue in their car, or they're putting the wrong fuel in the car. But we get a lot of AdBlue, which is AdBlue. Do you know what AdBlue is, Spliffy?
No, I don't. It's some sort of... you don't have to explain it to me. I don't know.
Basically, AdBlue is piss. And it's urea. It's piss. I tell it to everyone. People go, oh, it's, this compound, blah, blah, blah. It's made out of urea and does this and this. It's piss. Okay? It's literally urine.
So
anyway,
what's the benefit of putting piss in your fuel tank?
It's not putting in the fuel tank. So
is this some sort of wide scale prank that everyone is just not in on or something? I don't understand. Like, yeah, if you piss in your fuel tank, it'll make your car run better. Is that what the joke is? I'm not understanding how this works.
So AdBlue is a emission control system. I don't know why they call it AdBlue, but I guess it's the paint.
Well, because
name,
urine
anyway.
wasn't really selling anyone.
No, I guess not. AdPiss. That's what it should really be. Anyway, so AdBlue's mainly in trucks. So it's an emission control system. So basically, the urea is pumped into it's in the exhaust system. It's like a cylinder with injectors that injects the AdBlue into your exhaust system that then binds and reacts to the different chemicals coming out of the combustion engine. And basically, it makes certain gases and changes them to a less harmful gas. That's essentially all it does.
Right.
The other benefit of AdBlue, particularly if you've got a DPF vehicle, is the AdBlue actually sort of reduces the carbon buildup in DPF. So AdBlue.
What's DPF?
DPF is diesel particular filter. So it collects all the buildup of carbon coming out of the exhaust and sort of holds it, and then it'll get to a point where it'll do a burn off where it literally pumps fuel into the exhaust pipe and literally sets it all on fire and burns it all. Another emission control thing to go wrong, and I've seen all these devices go wrong. Put it this way.
Well, you put something else in the chain. It's just something else that can go wrong. Realistically,
exactly,
hi Goose. What's all this about? We're talking about how we're back now.
Yeah, we are
after
back.
a 7-month hiatus,
and I am currently just explaining about how my life has changed and how crazy it's been.
For the better, I might add, as someone who has sort of been a fly on the wall in terms of how your life has gone.
Yeah. So this is a whole new setup. Obviously, you can see behind me.
I really like the setup. I mean, the reflection on the TV
is a little annoying. It is
a little bit annoying, but I love the katanas.
I could do that, and that's a little bit darker, but then you get the reflection of what's going on.
Keep the light on.
Yeah.
For once, I'm actually begging someone to keep the light on this time.
So obviously, you can see in the back as well on the reflection, I now have two fucking screens. So I got the laptop, which I will be upgrading my PC to the fucking beast of a thing that I'm spending so much time fucking saving for. But anyway, so the laptop will eventually become obsolete, and then I'll get the full Lee Evo XL tower with fucking 7800 X3D CPU,
76 gajillion gigawatts of power in this beast.
I am going to be using 1,000 watt. I have a 1,000 watt power supply. Of course, they're 1,000 watt power supply. So, and I'm going to go for the 79 XTX because it's dropped down in price. Spliffy, it's now 1,500, and I'm just like, I'm gonna save for that.
Yeah, I mean, sure, why not? If you're gonna go big or go home, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly. I don't need it, but I want it, so that's the way I'm going for it. Anyway, and then like the Xboxes and stuff like that, I can show you. I'll just move out of the way. Okay,
yeah, get out of the way.
So this is my gaming room. So this is my office, basically. So all my consoles are there. So you got the 360, Xbox One S, the Xbox Series X is in the corner over there. This is a LG. By the way, if you're gonna go with TV, get LG. Best fucking expensive, but best fucking TV ever. Swear to God.
What makes you think that? I'm just out of curiosity.
One, they're easy to use. Two, they don't fuck up. Because the Hisense one, it's just a nightmare.
You don't buy Hisense.
Yeah, that's shit.
Buy Hisense, they're a nightmare.
But it's just easy to use, and it's very light and small form factor. And it just integrates really well with all your entertainment systems. Like, there's no fiddling around or adjusting like picture and audio. It just plug and play. It just works.
Yeah. Right.
And then I've got my Audi's headset over there, and then all my
just over there in the corner,
my collectibles
where it belongs,
and all that sort of shit, and my little miniature replica AK-47 down there, which is fucking fun. Have I showed you that before?
You replica AK-47?
Yeah.
No. No, you haven't. I didn't know you had a replica AK-47.
It's a miniature.
Miniature.
It's a miniature replica AK-47.
Officer, I swear it's miniature.
It's miniature.
It's a replica.
It's a replica, see? Little. It's awesome, though, because it, like, kind of works. So you can pull
Does
the
it actually
magazine out.
work? Is it like a cap gun sort of thing?
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
Well, it does. Well, not really, but, like, it has all the different parts and stuff like that to pull. And, yes, I do know how to actually disassemble a real-life AK-47. Don't ask me how. Anyway, so, yeah, you've got your bolt, then your recoil spring on it, you got your trigger, and then your hand guard, and then it's a little replica. It's cool.
Hell yeah.
I like it. I got it when I think Ray and I got it when I was at the Royal Adelaide show, I reckon. Anyway.
That seems like something you get at a Royal Easter show. I remember I don't know. It would have been well over a decade ago. I remember getting a cap gun, bolt action cap gun, like a mini tiny little thing.
Oh, really?
And that thing, I thoroughly enjoyed that thing. I thought it was awesome.
I remember once. What are you
doing now? What are you doing to it?
Oh, the magazine won't go back in. I don't know why.
Oh.
I've never had this issue with it before, so it's kind of a bit weird. I'm a little bit confused.
Well, if you tried asking nicely.
No, I haven't. Can you please go in the hole?
There you go. That's the spirit.
No, it says no. Okay, I'll just fuck around with that later.
Yeah, just do that. Priorities.
Anyways, I used to like going on the Adelaide show. I haven't been there in a long time. So.
Yeah, I haven't been to the any sort of show in a really long time, actually.
Well, it won't be going anytime soon. Although,
no,
there is a festival here that apparently goes down like crazy. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah,
nice.
So that's gonna be fun. I'm not gonna say what it is because it'll give away where I live.
Oh, yeah, well, don't say anything then.
No. So that's changed. What else has changed in my life? Not a lot really besides moving so far away. Oh, I got a trailer.
Nice.
That's cool. Car troubles. I did have a couple of troubles. One was my mistake and the other one was just the normal like wear and tear. It just happens. So I obviously serviced my car up here, and now that I have access to a car hoist, it makes servicing so much easier. I don't have to like take the wheel off and fucking do the whole inner guard out and get access to it. I just put it up on the hoist and then stand up on a step and then get up in there and just undo the oil filter and be done. Nice. Anyway, so I joined the service. One of the mechanics, he wanted to help me out, and I was like, okay. And so it was on a weekend and whatnot, and the oil sump was leaking oil. Not badly, but like, it's just been leaking over time.
Yeah, fair enough.
And on the D40 Navara, the oil sump doesn't have a gasket. It uses silicon seal.
Yeah.
It's just like normal silicon, really. It's just a automotive grade silicon. And
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it was just leaking slightly, and we took that off and cleaned it up and put it up and reapplied it. But we didn't wait that long.
Oh.
which I didn't know. This is all new to me because I've never even knew, because all the vehicles I've ever worked on and have had to drop the sump, they've had gaskets. So I didn't even know they use silicon on some cars, particularly mine. I've just never taken it off, so I wouldn't know. Anyway, so we did that and we didn't wait that long. It ended up leaking real bad, and so we ended up having to capture all the oil, drain it, redo it all over again. This time we waited like an hour and a half for it to set, and then it was all good. Mickey Mouse. Cool. Second problem was mine. So this trailer that we bought, the hinge on the license plate, it's got one of those license plate holders that moves. So the license plate sits on a plate and it's on a hinge and it goes up and down. So that when you drop the tailgate, it hinges up and down. So it can still be visible.
Keep seeing it. Yeah.
So the job on that was a shitty weld. So the weld had snapped. And because I didn't like... Because they tech screwed the license plate on there, and so the tech screw was pretty long, and so it was kicking the plate out. So then it would hold the plate on an angle, and I didn't like that.
I see what you mean.
So I tried. I was going to rivet it on there. So I tried unscrewing the tech screws, and by doing so, I ended up snapping the hinge because the hinge wasn't welded on properly, basically.
Ew.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, well, I'll take that into work and I'll borrow the work welder and I'll weld it all up. Did that. Mickey Mouse, mate, she's fucking mint. And then I spray painted it. And this is where the bad luck started happening, right? So I thought I had the right blue. And if anyone's used spray paint, they would know that it is really hard to match colors because the lid of the spray paint doesn't match the color that actually comes out. And I thought that this matched the paint. It's a blue of the blue of the trailer. It was a light blue instead of a dark blue. And I was just like, fucking hell, really? And I'm just like, fine. I will just fucking send it. I don't care. It's blue. It's gonna stop rust. Who gives a shit?
It's close enough.
It's close enough. Like it's a trailer.
Camouflage in the ocean. That's all I care about.
Yeah, it's a trailer. Who gives a fuck? Just send it. So I spray painted it up. And I'm sorry, the dog's just whinging about coming inside. And then I thought, well, while I'm waiting for the spray paint to paint, I needed to fit diff breathers in my car because a common problem with the D40 Navara is the diff breather has like a little cap on the top of it. And it's like a mushroom cap and it's got a spring on it. It's to stop water from getting in on top, but it allows air to get in and out. Problem is these springs wear out over time. And so the cap doesn't lift high enough. And so it kind of makes a seal, which ends up building up pressure. And usually when pressure builds up, guess what happens? Things tend to
explode.
Yeah, blow seals and stuff like that. And what happened was my right-hand axle seal had blown. And this is the third time it's happened because of this issue. So I bought a diff breather kit, a cheap one, a cheap diff breather kit that I knew fits. And so I tried to fit that. Now, I made two mistakes. These are two rookie mistakes that I should fucking know better because I've been doing this for a long time, but no. Stupid me, in a rush, trying to fucking get things done so that way I can get out of there, go home, and start playing games, basically.
Priorities.
Exactly, priorities. Anyway, so I used a 1/2-inch ratchet on it, which is big, my big heavy-duty Sid Chrome one.
Oh, yeah.
And so obviously I couldn't tell how tight it was. Now, the second problem was the thread is a tapered thread. And people who don't know, a tapered thread basically means that as you go further down the thread, it will taper in and get tighter and tighter and tighter. The idea of that is to create a seal. So then that way it seals it up. So then that way you don't get oil coming out around the threads and stuff like that. It just seals it up. And then the third thing that I didn't know, so I made two mistakes. The first mistake was oversized ratchet on a small nut. The second on the breather nipple. The second mistake was not remembering that it's a tapered thread. The third issue is that it was brass. And I didn't know that because I thought it was stainless steel. Because it was
What's
nickel.
the downside of using brass?
Brass is very soft.
Right.
So brass is good in the sense it doesn't corrode, but bad that it's very soft. And what happened was and on the bottom of the breather nipple, it's got like an O-ring to create the seal. So I'm like putting it in, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, sweet. And just as I got to the O-ring, I went to just do that little bit of a nook, and it came off.
Oh,
Leaving
the head of the bolt.
The head of the head of the bolt. Yeah, the whole head of the bolt cleanly came off.
No,
you should have heard me. I yelled fuck at the top of my voice. I was just like fuck.
You ruined a good thing.
Oh my god. So I ended up fucking ringing up my boss. And I'm like, hey, I've just snapped my fucking diff breather nipple in the diff. And he's like, oh fuck, really? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, can you help me? Have you got any easy outs? And he's like, oh shit, yeah, we do. Fuck, I don't know where they are. Now I didn't know they were brass at this stage. So my boss comes to the rescue. And he made the joke he's usually like being called up to fix fucking apprentices' mistakes and stuff like that. And then he looks at what I've done and he goes, but I've never seen this been done before. So I'm just like, thanks a lot.
Thanks. I'm already having a bad day. Thank you for making it a little bit better.
So anyway, and I told him about the trailer and he had a laugh about that. And then we looked inside the thread. Now, luckily, this company was smart to basically make inside the thread to have an Allen key so the whole through the nipple, like through the bolt, through the thread, because obviously, it's letting air through, has a hex size in it. So you can use an Allen key in it for this exact reason.
Oh.
And we're like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. So we get an Allen key and we fit it in there. And this is when we found out it was brass. And so we go to undo it. And because it's a tapered thread and I did it with an oversized ratchet, it was in there tight. If it wasn't in there tight, this wouldn't be a problem, but it was in there really tight. And so it just kept rounding, and he's like, oh, fuck. And then he looks at this and he's like, I reckon this is fucking brass nickel plated, eh? And he's like, that's why it's not working. I'm like, fucking hell. He's like, if this was stainless, we'd be able to get it out, but not brass. It's just going to it's too soft. He's like, all right, this is what we're going to have to do. You're going to have to book your car in. You're going to have to book your car in, and we're going to have to fix this because we've got to fix your axle seal, which I was going to do at work anyway. But I was going to do it on a weekend and pay one of the mechanics like a cashier to help me out with it. And I was going to help him with it. But we ended up having to like booking him for work because it ended up being a bit of a job. And so they had to basically drill it out, re-tap it, do the axle seal, and replace my diff fluid, which ended up costing me like $600 and something.
Ooh, ouch.
That's even with staff discount. Like, yeah.
Yeah, right.
It went from a few dollars fix for the diff breather to $600. Yeah. Yeah. So bit of a fuck up on my end.
Only a little bit.
Yeah. It just fucking annoyed the shit out of me. I was so angry with myself.
Well, you won't do that again, that's for certain.
No. Well, the thing is he gave me one of his diff breather kits, which is actually made out of stainless, and they fitted that to it, so it's all good Mickey Mouse now. So I shouldn't have that problem again now because I shouldn't need to fucking touch it.
Yeah, in theory at least.
And then the axle seal was all done. Fuck me, Nissan charged a lot of money for that shit too. So the seal itself was only like $38, but the follower. So the way the axle seals in your axle works is you got like a follower. So it's like a metal. It's kind of like a cup, and it goes inside your axle shaft, and then the seal comes and sits up against it like that. The seal was like $38. This little piece of fucking tin metal was $230.
What? Holy crap.
This little piece of fucking metal. And like, because I said to him, last time I got it done, because like I said, this is the third time I've done it, and I've done it twice already. Last time I got it done, it only cost me $40 something, and then I think it was like $120 for labor. Yeah. So it was like $200 to get done on top of a service. Last time I got it done. So I don't think they replaced the follower, which you're supposed to do. And I'm glad I did end up replacing the follower because when we pulled the follower, it was pretty warped and like it was worn. And
yeah, right.
That also probably is a contributing factor why it failed in the first place because the follower wasn't in good condition. If they just kept reusing it, the dealership. So anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, that was so expensive. But it's all fun and dandy now, and I've just recently also been looking at getting a battery charger for the cars because because I live so close to town centre. I'm not traveling that much, so I got a battery charger to sort of trickle charge my car. So I ended up. I'll show you what it is, and I'm gonna do a video on it actually. Let's see if this works. Oh, no. Which one is it?
Not that one. Well,
okay.
More scuff for the compilation.
Yeah, fuck off. Anyway, so it's this one here. Is it working? Is it working? Yeah.
Yeah.
Working. Yeah. It's this one here. What did you go off for?
Just a little bit of foreshadowing of what's to come later on.
Oh yeah. I got some
I don't even know why. But continue on. I get just continue.
Anyway, so I've ordered this charger. I'm going to do a full review on it as well on my YouTube channel. I'll go into depth about it. But basically, I needed a charger. And I wanted this one in particular because it tests your battery before it starts charging. So it will tell you whether your battery's dropping cells. And that feature is really fucking handy because it gives you that early warning that your battery is failing. It's on special at the moment. But yeah. So, because it was a toss-up between this one and their older one, which is this one here. This one's 22 amp, 9-stage, same as the other one, but it doesn't do that test beforehand. And it does all the battery types as well. So, highly recommend either one of these, depending what you want for a car battery charger. Obviously, plugs into 240 volt. And then you got your alligator clips, and then you can also directly plug it in with your Anderson plugs as well if you want. So yeah, I'm gonna get one of those. Batteries are so expensive though. Like,
they are, but
like 900
there's a million and one reasons why they're expensive.
Yeah. Though that lithium there, 592 for that 100 amp lithium battery is a pretty good price actually.
Yeah, lithium has become pretty expensive.
Yeah, it has. So yeah, I'm gonna get one of these, and I'll just keep an eye out for the review when that comes out. I'm gonna go into I'm gonna try really hard to get the production value on that one. So,
yeah, why not?
Yeah, I've never done that to that stage, so I'm gonna try. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. Okay, so what about your audio equipment stuff? How have you been?
I mean, nothing has really changed necessarily. I put in a Zoom V3 in the chain. I don't have it in the chain. I actually don't have any of my audio manipulation equipment in the chain right now, so it's literally just going straight to my.
What is it? A Zoom
V3, which I'm learning now that I don't know. I'll probably have to test it a little bit more, but I'm finding that the Zoom preamps aren't as great as not as great as some of the other preamps that I have. So right now I'm using a DBX 286S preamp with a bunch of processing inside the 286 unit.
So it's like this?
Yeah, that's the one. So that one has a whole bunch of... it's specifically for manipulating your vocals.
Yeah.
It's quite useful. It's really, really handy. It has a bunch of effects that you can put on your vocals. Oh, yeah. My only issue is that it doesn't have a line input, which is really upsetting. It's only got a microphone input, which if you turn the preamplifier all the way down, sort of acts like a line input, but it's not really as reliable in the same sense.
If we had a podcast in person, Spliffy, this is what we would run off of.
No, it is not.
Yeah, I reckon.
No, it's not. No, it's look. How much is that going? No, what I've got, what I've got now is like more than enough of what we would need for like an in-person podcast.
Yeah. And we wouldn't need to buy more microphones because you have many.
Yes, I do. I have 11 microphones. I still want to buy more microphones. Microphones are like
they're your hobby.
They are my absolute hobby. I love microphones. Every single microphone has a very, very peculiar personality, also known as a sonic characteristic, and I fucking love microphones. I think microphones are great. And I want more microphones, but I'm also saving up for I want to upgrade my audio interface.
Yeah.
But I mean, ultimately, I want to upgrade my audio interface because I want another 12 286S channel strips.
Yeah.
But I want more microphones. I love microphones. I'm
going to be right back.
Sorry?
I'm just going to be right back. This dog's not just drive me up the wall. I'll just be right back.
Yeah, no worries. I'll just keep talking about audio. Actually, you know what? I'm going to talk about the time that about maybe a month and a half ago, my starter motor died. In a way, it was a Friday morning. Got in the car, put the key in the ignition, kicked it over, and click, nothing. Crap. All right, well, maybe we just had a bad start. So take the key out of the ignition, put it back in, turn it over, click, nothing. Damn it. So I pull the bonnet up, test I don't have any of my tools on me because they're all at work. So I think, crap. Well, I need to go down to go get a multimeter and some sort of jump starter. So I go get a Nocco, a Nocco jump starter kit, one that suits my needs, and I get back to the car. I put the jump starter on the battery because I figured, it's like when a car doesn't start, it's one of four things. It's the alternator's gone bad, which causes the battery to not charge, which causes the battery to not basically put current to the starter motor, which will prevent your car from starting. Or it could also be the relay that's not really working either. So I figured, okay, so if I get a jump starter kit, put on the battery, and it might just be the battery because the battery is fairly old. So I get the jump starter. I put it on the battery. I thought, okay, and then I go back into the driver's seat. I put the key in the ignition, kick it over, click, nothing. Damn it. So at that point, I thought, I really am in trouble at this point. So at that point, I test the battery because I bought a multimeter as well. I test the battery, 12 volts. Oh, we're really in trouble now. We've got a good battery, which means we've got a good alternator. I'm hearing a click, which means the relay is good, which means out of the three things, we've tested three of the four things, and the only thing that I haven't been able to get on is the starter motor. So there's a good chance it's the starter motor that's died. And if you don't have a starter motor, your car doesn't start, as in as you know, reference to the name starter motor. So at this point, I think, I'm in trouble. Well, I guess I'm not going to work today. So I call my boss up, basically say, yep, not coming to work. Cool. And that's just to cut a long story short. So I call up NRMA saying, yeah, I need some test equipment. Can you come help me, please? And then they come along, they test my starter motor, say, yep, starter motor's dead. Cool. Okay. So I turns out I was correct in the sense that the starter motor was, in fact, dead. So they call up a towing company. A company takes it to a auto electrician.
Yep.
And which who informs me they're really bloody good. I love these auto electricians in town.
Yeah.
And they say, yep, we can have a starter motor this afternoon. Cool, but we can't guarantee they'll be done this afternoon. I say, yep, no, that's fine, no worries. I get a call the next morning at 10 o'clock saying, yep, starter motor's replaced, your car's all working, come and collect it. Say, yep, awesome, that is awesome.
Yeah.
So got in, new starter motor, and then it was all fine and dandy, and I haven't had a trouble with my car since. It's been this car that I have is an absolute bloody trooper. I do not understand how it's still alive at this point.
Yeah, I'd really love to share that video of what we did with the work hold Astra.
Oh,
but I can't.
You're worried that it'll you're worried it'll give away the
show
position.
Pretty much. Basically, what happened was there was this work Astra. It's a piece of shit, and my boss promised the apprentices and the boys that we will destruction derby this car. And we had this work printer. It's a piece of shit. Didn't work half the time. It was a big printer. And I said to my boss, I was like, when we got rid of it, I was like, because it just wasn't working. And I said to him, I said, can we like destroy this with something? And he's like, yeah, I'd love to. I hate that fucking thing. and then I don't know who mentioned it, but someone mentioned of hitting the printer with the Astra. And so we went onto a private property someone knew and hit it traveling 110 kilometers per hour. It was fun.
I remember you sent pictures that, like, it destroyed the oil sump.
No, it blew off the oil filter. So,
yeah, that'll do it.
Because obviously it destroyed the radiator. So the car, obviously, the cooling system in the car was not working anymore. So the car got hot. Yeah. And then it was having battery issues from the get, which is why the battery ended up being in his position because the customer didn't want it anymore and just gave it to him basically or sold it to him.
Oh, right.
And yeah, it would like have issues, and we were like doing doughies in this thing after like so we hit this printer and it took out the radiator and all the coolant's just fucking just gone. As well as it's leaking oil badly because I think the sump did get a hole in it or something anyway.
It wouldn't surprise me.
And we're just sitting there fucking doing doughies in this thing. We fucking thrashed this car. And it got almost all the way back. We had to flat tow the rest of the way because what happened was they were driving along and then someone decided to do a money shift where you change to a really low gear traveling at a really high speed.
Oh,
and then it just went kapoof. And then we had
was it an automatic or manual?
Manual.
Oh yeah, so you just go from like gear.
Yeah.
What are they? 5-gear manual or 4-gear manual?
Fuck, I don't know. 5-gear manual. Yeah. 5 speed, yeah. And anyway, and the oil filter blew off. And so the whole engine bay was just covered in stuff. I wish I might even be able to show a picture of it.
If you like crop out just the engine bay.
Yeah, well, I have that picture of the engine bay, remember?
Yeah, I remember that picture.
I think I remember posting it. Just got to find it.
Yeah, you know what, Ray, that is a good point. We are missing an opportunity to have some kick-ass video in the background.
What video in the background? Oh yeah,
on the TV.
Yeah, actually, TV. Yeah.
So, like, you know what? Maybe we can adapt and survive. I reckon you need to go get a matte, like a matte layered TV. Just throw that TV in the tip, and just go get a matte screen TV, so it doesn't have nearly as much reflection. And then we can just, I don't know. Something like just chuck it. Yeah, just chuck it. Just throw it. Like, don't even throw it. Don't even bother about taking it to the tip. Just take it out to the front, take it out to the front yard and put for free, not haunted in brackets, of course. And get another TV that won't have as much reflection, and then just start, putting videos of, I don't know, what are the kids into this day and age? Fortnite or something.
Something like that, yeah. I don't know. Ray would know more what the kids are up to these days.
Yeah, Ray, what are you up to? What are the kids up to? Fortnite?
Man, we fucking... I'm going through our personal chat and we...
No, we're not putting Skibbity on the background screen.
Oh, here we go.
We want some semblance of intelligence on this live stream.
Open image.
He's opening the image. I want more microphones. How do I need more microphones in my life.
Need more microphones in your life?
And I do need more microphones. Actually, there's a company I want to buy some microphone stands from. They've actually got relatively affordable microphones as well, so I might just chuck those on top when I buy these microphone stands.
Okay, here we go. That is the effects of after we yeah, that's what happened. So,
yeah, that thing is absolutely gone.
So the oil filter was down in here and it just blew off. And then we had to flat tow it home. I do really have pictures of the damage. I've got videos. Oh, I could probably show this video, I think. I reckon I could show this one. Maybe. Yeah, I think I can.
I chucked a voice filter on when? I literally have no voice no voice manipulation equipment in the chain whatsoever. Even if I turned it on, it wouldn't work.
It won't let me play on the link. Down. Bugger. That sucks.
Well, what? I don't... Ooh, extra boot space. Oh, yeah.
It's the pointing. It won't let me play it in the browser. That's probably for a good reason, though. It was just like us doing donuts in it. Also, Spliffy, I was going to tell you, in the future, there is a nice little trick that you can learn with starter motors on how to get starter motors.
Like, what do you mean get starter motors?
So, for example, one of the apprentices, he bought a Commodore and he needed a second key.
You have to explain that one to me, Chief. A second key?
Yes. So this is what I would say a second key is.
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain that one to me, Chief.
So on starter motors.
Look, no, don't get. But here's the thing, right? The NRMA guy did that. He actually like bashed the shit out of my starter motor.
Okay, he did.
Like, it was one of those start your bastard mornings. Don't worry, don't get me wrong. It's not one of those. We had the second key. Don't worry.
So starter motors generally, when they fuck up, if you hit them with something heavy, they'll work.
Nah, this starter motor was like 20 years old, screwed.
It was gone. So
yeah, it was gone. It was done. There was like nah, forget about it. I'm not getting up today, thank you.
We're gonna watch something fucking crazy. All right, you ready?
We're gonna watch something cringe.
We're gonna watch something cringe. All right.
I don't even know how. Like, what even is this? I don't even know what. How do you find this shit?
I found it somehow. It was just there.
I don't know how.
Okay, you ready? It's 1 minute 50 of your life you're never gonna get back.
Yeah. Just go for it. Just fucking send it, I guess.
Is the sound even on?
I don't know.
No, it's not. Why isn't? Oh, because I muted the site. That's why. Hang on, let me unmute.
You muted this.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, thank you for showing that to everyone. Everyone is now dumber as a result.
That is the point. That was just random. I don't know how I came across that, and then that just is there.
Whatever you did to come across that, please don't do that again. Yes, thank you, Mitchell6. That was very disturbing.
Yep. That was. It must have been on like a Saturday Night Live show or something like that, like an Australian one. Sure.
I hope they went broke.
Well, they clearly did because I've never seen that before.
Oh, good.
Well, I didn't even know about it. Like, it just came up on my bloody.
And now
like,
we know about it. Thank you.
And now other people would know about it in the future. I don't know whoever looks at this content.
Look. Today's generation has Skibbity Toilet. However long ago that was, had that.
I didn't even know that existed until Ray pointed it out.
Yeah, neither did I.
Ray's like talking about it, and I'm just like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, what is that?
And then she sent me the link, and I was just like, that is the new thing? And it's just like, yeah, well, you used to get into like idiot box and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but that had more like taste to it. This has nothing.
That flavor. This has nothing.
This is nothing like the shit that I watched as a kid growing up. Yes, it was Gmod and all that sort of stuff, but it was like,
oh yeah, same.
It was like memes. It associated with something that happened, so I had like meaning behind it. But that skibbity thing is nothing. It doesn't mean or doesn't rip off. It does actually, nothing.
Weirdly enough, have you actually watched Skip? I think I watched up a couple to episode 86 or something like that, and then I just kind of completely dropped it after that. I've got no reason why, but I just other than the pure brain rot. But basically, it's really weird. No words, but it somehow had a storyline. It was so peculiar.
Yeah, it did. It does have a storyline, and I get that, but it just doesn't make fucking sense. I don't get it. These heads in a toilet are taking over.
Yeah, look, it doesn't have to make sense. It just, but you know what? No, I don't know.
The point is the kids these days are fucking watching
kids. No, it's not kids these days. It's kids all days get into some really weird stuff.
Fucking oath they do. But wait, when you were talking about your jump pack,
my jump pack,
yeah, these ones.
Oh yeah. My
which one did you get? Did you get the?
I got a Noco 1000 amp.
1000 amp. So you got the $179 one there.
Yeah, 12 volt, 1000 amps. Jump starter kit.
That, by the way, people watching, this will do pretty much majority of your small cars. If you have a full drive, I would recommend the 2000 amp one. Just because your full drives, especially if you got dual battery systems, because people don't realize that when you have a dual battery system and you plug a jump pack in it, that second battery can drain the jump starter ability. So you're better off going a high amperage jump starter so that way you can get crack-a-lackin'. I also learnt, don't buy the X version of any of the Nucco stuff. The reason for it is they've been having serious issues where they're not accepting charge when you charge them up because the person had let them go below a certain percentage in power. And so they don't accept charge and you can't undo that. So don't get the X, get the normal Noco GB version. Just a little advice on that one, I think. But yeah, these are really good though. We at work we just use a standard jump pack, which is like this. Oh, jump work. Jump work. Jumper pack. It's like this one. These ones are actually better. These ones here, like these ones. These ones are actually better jump starters than the portable ones. The reason why, if you got a dead battery or your battery's not exactly 100%, this will still get you going. Where these, they don't like it, so they won't actually get you going. But yeah, it's because these use lead cell batteries, and lead cell batteries just kind of work better for that purpose. But they're so expensive though. Like, when you got that one, that's $479, and then where's that one?
It really is all about figuring out what your need is, because like, you know, my jumper pack may be 1000 amps, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm using all 1000 amps. It just means that my battery it's capable of producing 1000 amps.
Yeah, it's really good to always overspec. When it comes to batteries and charging and all that stuff, it's always best to overspec, because if you overspec, it's like a computer, like with a power supply. It's better to overspec than underspec, because you can stay on spec. There's nothing wrong with, say, for example, you require 500 volts of power or amps, 500 amps of power, or something like that.
Let's go
amps. We'll go amps. So your system requires 500 amps to run, right?
Which is a lot, by the way.
Which is a lot, and unfortunately, a lot of computers these days do actually run at that. But
let's not use amps. Let's use watts. Watts is probably a more accurate unit of measurement as opposed to amps. Because 500 amps will probably kill everyone, you and everyone, and the entire world. Really?
Yeah. But watts. All right. So 500 watt power supply for your computer. Your computer system requires it, so you spec out your computer for 500 watt power supply.
Yeah.
Cool. What happens if something goes wrong with the electronics and ends up getting a spike in power? For whatever reason, which can happen. It happens in computers time to time, where like say it's saying that it runs at 350 watts, but then if you have a look at its actually usage, and it can ramp up to say 400 watts because it hit a spike for whatever reason, just fucking upped its voltage by itself, or something went wrong. Then all of a sudden your system's going to crash, and because you got a maximum of 500 watts. So you end up going to, say, a 650 instead. And then if that spike happens, you're still within your safe limits. So that's the reason why it's always good to overspec when it comes to that sort of stuff. Especially when it comes to
power supplies, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same with charging batteries and battery systems and stuff like that. Because the one thing that because like everyone loves Toyota, right? The brand Toyota.
Yes.
They're reputable. Everyone loves them. All that sort of stuff.
Yes.
Toyota aren't really good for batteries, and the reason why they're not good for batteries is they only want a 80 amp alternator. In theory, it's like, well, that should be fine. It's like, well, no, because a lot of the first thing people do with full drives out here is they run a dual battery system. And a lot of modern cars have a lot of electronics. So they're still running the old alternators that they've had since the fucking 90s. So an 80 amp alternator on a modern car, which means more electronics running it, like heated seating, all that sort of stuff. All draws power from your alternator and your battery. So you're running that, and then you add a dual battery system to it. Now all of a sudden your alternator can't handle charging your battery. And we see it time and time again. Can't keep up. We see it time and time again, especially in the police vehicles. In the police vehicles, we see it all the time that their batteries fail because the alternator can't charge them enough. But unfortunately, the police in the police case, they're not allowed to upgrade the alternator because Toyota do have bigger alternators that fit their vehicles. So you can actually opt to get a larger size alternator to deal with that shit. So
that
they know
like a Toyota issue. That sounds like a police issue.
But everyone does it as well. So only people with knowledge on this generally get an alternator upgrade.
Right.
But your general public who don't realize that's a problem. And so it's just another one of those things. It's like if you're gonna run a dual battery system and you're going to have all these electronics in your car from factory, then overspec your alternator to be able to accommodate for at least your car stuff. Because 80 amps, even on your car stuff, isn't really that great. You don't have much headroom at all of power. And then you go to vehicles like mine. Like a lot of Navaras are like this. A lot of the Patrols, even fucking Ford. Their specs or overspec. So, for example, my car has a 150 amp alternator. It's a big boy. And then other car brands have even bigger or same size or a little bit smaller. So it's just when it comes to electronics, you got to be careful with the power draws and you got to be careful with that sort of stuff because usually if something goes wrong, it usually ends up on fire. So that's why you got to sort of be careful. Which,
yeah, the amps are amps are ultimately what burn wire.
100%.
So it's basically I actually learned this not long ago. So on street lights, on various street lights, you have transformers, and that's those transformers. The reason why you have transformers on all those power lines is that transformers are capable of increasing voltage from your power station to all your homes. But because of the way that the properties of transformers being that it increases, say for example, it increases voltage by 1,000 times. As a result, basically just by virtue of the way that the properties of transformers, your amperes will actually reduce by 1,000. So your voltage increases by a tenfold, by a multitude of 1,000, but your amperes reduce by a multitude of 1,000.
Yeah.
And as a result, you're able to get a lot more power across the you're able to get the same amount of power across the power lines, but because the amperes are severely reduced, it doesn't burn the wires out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and also transformers only work the way that they are supposed to. They really only work with alternating current, which is why all outlets are alternating current as opposed to DC current.
Well, that's like so on a car system, it's 12 volt, right? But your car can run over 100 plus amps, which is why if you have a bad ground or something like that, you can. Hell, we even saw it the other day on Friday on a customer's vehicle. We literally saw this car wasn't starting. We did all this work to it, put it back together, and the car wasn't starting. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
That's great. I love it when that happens.
Fuse blew.
Oh, yeah.
And so we replaced the fuse, put it in, turn it on, and then we're looking at the coil pack wiring, and we just suddenly see it smoke.
That's not good.
So it was shorting.
Yeah.
So and that's why car fires. That's why car fires are bad. Is because it doesn't have you can literally. You as a human body can. I mean, I don't recommend it, but you can grab a positive and negative terminal on a car battery and be fine. The reason why is because there's enough resistance in your body that the 12 volt system isn't doing anything. But the problem is it's like 100 plus amps running through your car, which means that it's very sparky. It's very gets very hot, and so that's why fires can happen. Yeah, it's not that it's like high voltage. It's high. It's just high amp.
No. Voltage. Yeah, the voltage is the independent variable. So in this situation, so a human body represents anywhere between 40,000 to 60,000 ohms, right?
Yeah.
So when you run 12 volts through that, or hell, when you even run 24 volts through, I wouldn't recommend doing that. But when you run 12 volts through 50,000 ohms, it doesn't come up with much amperage. But because the car system doesn't have a lot of resistance inside of it, that's how you're able to draw like 600 amps out of a 12 volt battery, because there's such a low resistance, there's such a low load, and that's how you're able to create that such high amperes.
That's why cars are also very susceptible for damage to the electronic systems if you're welding on your car. So rule of thumb, whenever you weld on a car, and it doesn't even fucking matter if you are welding a trailer attached to the car, rule of thumb, disconnect your battery, make sure all your electronics are turned off, wait a while for all the power in your system to be out, because if you weld on your car, the amps going through the car from the welder will literally fry your electronics. And I have seen it. And it is a mess. It makes a mess. I honestly think this particular individual that claims to have the wrath of God right down on them. I honestly think they fucked up and welded on their car without disconnecting the battery, because that made a lot more sense than being struck by lightning. But anyway.
Yeah. So welding, does welding create a electrical conduct? Does it?
Yeah. It'll go straight to your ECU and your BCM and all that, and just fry your computer components. Yeah. It will pretty much, if it's got a chip in it, it will fry it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter whether you're welding on a trailer that's just connected on the tow ball. It will go straight through the trailer, through the tow ball, into your car. And it's the same on trucks as well. Whenever they weld on trucks, it's the exact same thing. And the truck's a big fucking vehicle. And let's say they're welding up a plate at the back on the trailer. It would still fuck the truck up. It can still fry it. Yeah.
The metal represents very little resistance, so you'll have a lot more amperes.
Yeah. And most welders are pushing 2,000 amps. like a lot.
Yeah.
Well, not 2,000. I think it's like maybe 200.
Well, even if it's 1,000, that's still 1,000 amps going through like your entire car
Yeah,
or vehicle,
exactly.
shall we say? Because like that resistance, basically the difference between the supply being 1,000 amps and the little resistance being the chassis of your vehicle, shall we say, it's still like 1,000. It's still damn near 1,000 amps. So
Yeah,
that's how
exactly.
that more
Yeah.
or less equates to.
Oh yeah. So like, yeah, it wouldn't be 1,000. It'd be like in the hundreds. So for example, a low end Unimog MIG welder, um, on average hits about 195 amps going through it. Still, that's a
That's
lot.
still a lot.
Still a lot.
That's a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah. So, and you can get them up to like 200, 300 amp welders, like on the professional grade sort of stuff, which probably a truck mechanic would probably have. Big fucking thing.
Yeah, because you probably want that reliability.
Yeah.
But I never even thought about welders using electricity to actually. I just kind of assumed it was heat that they used or some sort of heat.
No, it's electricity. Yeah, it's literally.
Yeah, right on.
It's literally. They're literally generating an arc to generate the heat.
Yeah.
And then that arc melts whatever substance, and then the type of welder depends on how that material is fed. So, for an example, because all welders work the same principle, they just generate an arc, and then on that arc melts a substance and heats up the material that substance then fills. So basically, like a TIG welder, for an example, or no, a stick welder, or just go stick welder, fuck it. So a stick welder is like you got your electrode, which is a little handle, and then your rod sits on it, and then that stick is the material. It's got flux on it as well, which helps the bond strengthens the bond when you melt it. Yeah. Anyway, and it also prevents. It does a whole heap of chemical stuff as well. Anyway, so that it's live all the time. So there's no button to activate it on or off. It's like once you turn the welder on, and you put your ground pliers on the material you're working on. As soon as that tip goes near the metal, it will arc and instantly start welding. So, and then a MIG welder uses, it can be gas or gasless, but most time gas is better. I think gas is better. And it's just got a head and a stick. The trigger moves the material through, that's on like a big electronic coil. So it will like feed the line through. And then it will also release the gas through the little cup that's on the nozzle. And then that gas will then shoot in the area that you're working on to get a clean weld. And then on a TIG welder, does the same thing with the gas as the MIG does, but instead it uses a tungsten tip that generates the arc, and then you have the filler rod that you feed in by hand, and you do that. Which you can get real clean welds with TIG welding, but each welding practice has like its uses. For example, stick welding is really good for like real thick industrial grade steels because you can get real thick electrodes for it, and it gets much hotter. MIG welding is really good for like your general practice, jack of all trades sort of style of welding. You can do anything. You can even weld stainless steel and aluminium with a special, well, not aluminium, but stainless steel with a special type of feeding elements and setups. And then your TIG welding is more your long process, finicky, exhaust piping, radiator work, working on aluminium, all that sort of stuff. That's all TIG welded. So yeah, I can MIG and stick weld. I cannot TIG. I would love to learn though. I'm all right at welding, but yeah.
I haven't tried my hand at welding. I haven't bought any equipment to try.
It's a lot of fun, and like when you live on your own, it's really handy to have a welder. Because I wish I had one. Because there's been quite a lot of instances where I needed one. I either had to borrow my dad's, or in this case, I just borrow the work one. So, but
the closest I've come to welding is probably soldering. because I make my own audio cables.
Yeah. Soldering is the exact same as welding.
Yeah,
you're heating up the material and you're just melting it and joining it together. It's literally the exact same thing. Difference is it's obviously it's an arc. It's a lot more volatile than
yeah.
There's a real balance to get the welding set up right, but yeah, we've been on a lot of different sort of topics today.
Oh, that's what we normally do.
Yeah, I know. I hope those who are watching enjoyed. We're probably gonna call it quits. A little bit over time, but that's all right. We're hoping to do this more regularly again and start this back up. If you want to be on the shows, let us know. We're always happy to have guests.
Yeah, we love guests.
Yeah, we always have guests. We had Ray. Ray was episode 1. Had Trader on here. We've had Goose. We've had my brother. Who else we've had on here? We've had Imanex.
Yeah, we need to get Imanex back on.
Yeah, he would be fun to have, especially with the way things are going with AI. I'd love to pick his brain more on that. And we definitely need to get some more guests up on here.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the rest of this year. Next year should be fun, and then the years after that should also be fun. I'm
also excited to get this whole new disturbing clips. Can't promise that.
No promises. No.
We never make promises because we just know we can't keep them.
Especially when it comes to disturbing audio video clips.
We promised that this show would be a regular thing, and then we had a hiatus of 7 months.
Yeah.
Right, with no wording. We're just like, life's changing too much. We just need to fucking stop this for a little bit.
Yeah, just for a little bit until we get back on our feet. All right, we're back on our feet. How long has it been? 7 months.
7 months.
Shit.
Yeah, wow, that went real quick. But it's good. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back on the bandwagon. I'm probably not going to do this as often. I reckon once a week would probably be the best. Do you reckon?
I reckon I can handle once a week.
Once a week, yeah. Just otherwise it gets too busy. Especially before I leave, the one crazy thing that I've done that I've never done in my entire life is I signed up to play AFL football. Well, not AFL, but SANFL. So
you do sports now. You're one of them sports geeks now.
I do sports now.
You go outside and you touch grass.
Yeah.
You're one of those.
I go around hugging men.
You run around a big football oval and you tackle men to the ground and you enjoy.
Yes, you get all nice and dirty with them. I hope Ray doesn't clip that.
Oh, you've literally just summoned her.
No, she's not listening, I swear. Anyways.
I don't know about that one, G.
All right, everybody. It was really, really good seeing you.
She's summoned.
What?
Summoned!
Did she come back? Did she? I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Summoned.
No, I haven't summoned. No. Neither you mind.
Nothing, Ray. Nothing is going
Nothing's going on. My one moderator is not even present. Wait, what do you mean? There's yeah, but you're not going to go all the way through the VOD and find it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Can't find it. All right, everybody. I hope you have a good night and day, depending where you are in the world. You'll probably see that clip online now. So we'll catch you next time. We're going to try and make this on every Sunday around this time, because I think this time's a lot better than the other time, because people usually...
It was like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was getting kind of annoying. But now I think 2 o'clock's better. And we'll continue on and we'll try and make our stories entertaining and try not to show you disturbing things. But, like I said, can't promise that. But yeah, have a good night and day depending around the world. And we'll catch you next time. See you all.
Bye.